Okay, so we're here today for business plans or plans of any kind can be valuable in keeping up with their business. So we're going to focus on the simple approach. I want to welcome you to the one-year business plan webinar. We want to make sure that it's easy to follow and maintain throughout the year. So we're going to, before we get started, I'm going to ask our interpreter, we're going to go over some slides as we break out into our rooms. And so I'm going to ask him to help me translate those to you. I'm going to go over those for you. Okay. So before we begin, once the language rooms are open, you will see the interpretation globe pop up. From your Zoom desktop versions, this is usually on the bottom of the screen. You want to click the interpretation globe to see the available languages. All users need to select one language room to enter and remain in that room until the end of the webinar. That's for English or Spanish speakers. If you're using a device, you will see the more word, then language interpretation. You will then be able to select one of the available language options. Again, all users need to select one language room to enter and remain in the room until the end of the webinar. You can also mute the original audio. Go ahead, Claudio. Claudio, you're on mute.
I'm so sorry. Yes. Entonces, muy buenas tardes nuevamente. Entonces, vamos a comenzar el proceso de interpretación y ya que comience, usted verá aparecer un globo de interpretación en la parte de abajo de la pantalla de Zoom y le pedimos que le haga clic a este globo de interpretación para ver los idiomas que tenemos disponibles hoy. Y recordando que todos los usuarios deben usar una de las salas de idiomas y permanecer en esa sala hasta el final del seminario esta tarde. Next image, please. Sí, una vez de que el organizador del evento, como ya dijimos, esto son las mismas instrucciones, pero para personas que están en un teléfono o en una tableta. Nuevamente, ya que terminemos de hablar de la organizadora, comienza la interpretación, usted verá aparecer un globo en la parte de abajo de la pantalla de Zoom. Entonces le pedimos que seleccione donde dice más o los tres puntitos y para poder tener acceso y vaya hasta donde está interpretación de idiomas. Después, ya estando ahí, usted escoge el idioma apropiado, en este caso español, y recordándoles de que todo el mundo tiene que seleccionar un idioma y una sala de un idioma específico y permanecer ahí hasta el final del seminario. Usted también tendrá la opción, en ambos casos, de silenciar el audio original para escuchar más plenamente. Y recordándoles que si necesita asistencia técnica en cualquier momento durante el seminario, por favor, utilice el chat para hacernos saber eso. Gracias.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to stop my share because so that I can turn on the globe. Working here. So let me turn on the globe. Okay, no, I don't know why that's showing.
Solo un
Okay.
segundo mientras comenzamos la interpretación. Sí.
Okay, here we go. Okay, everybody please choose your room. Okay. Ms. Tanya, do you have a question? I see your hand up. We're gonna
Yeah, I'm trying to find out where. Okay, if I'm English, where do I go and hit the where I go hit my?
where you're gonna find the globe, the interpretation globe, or more on your screen or device. The three dots that say more. If you're on a device, and you're going to see interpretation.
Okay.
And you're going to choose English. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, are we good on our end, Claudio? We're good? Okay, all right, so now I'm going to go back to sharing my screen here. And I'm gonna go ahead and move over. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I'm going to welcome everybody to our webinar for today of creating an annual business plan. Business plans or plans of any kind can be invaluable in keeping your business on track throughout the year. So these plans should be living documents that you refer to often. They should also be adaptable and flexible to fit the ever-changing needs of your business and the market it's within. So just think of the many changes that you've had to make over the past couple of years. That was you adapting your business plan. Okay. So there's not one set formula for business plans either. But business plans can take several different forms and have different purposes, from helping to plan out your year to charting a course for the next 5 years, or even helping you plan to expand your business. So today we're going to focus on a simple approach to a simple 1 year business plan that's easy to follow and maintain throughout the year. Okay, my name is Melinda Escobar, and I'm excited to be your facilitator for this presentation. Okay, and so just a few housekeeping items. We'll be addressing all questions at the end of the presentation. So please hold on to your thoughts until then. You're more than welcome to put them into the chat, but just know that we're going to hold on to them and address them towards the end. This session is being recorded, and so you'll be able to access these later on. You will be given an option to select your language. We've already done that. So if you're not in the right language or you're not sure, please put that in the chat so that we can make sure you are where you need to be. Okay. Is everybody good? I like to see a thumbs up from my audience if everybody's good. Awesome. Great. I'm glad to see good thumbs up. Yes, and smiles as well. Okay. So I do have to read a disclaimer for our company. The information contained here has been prepared by Civitas Strategies and is not intended to constitute legal, tax, or financial advice. The Civitas Strategies team has used reasonable efforts in collecting, preparing, and providing this information, but does not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, adequacy, or currency. The publication and distribution of this information is not intended to create, and receipt does not constitute an attorney-client or any other advisory relationship. Reproduction of this information and recording of this content, including the use of AI, are expressly prohibited, and only non-commercial uses of this work are permitted. Okay, got the legal stuff out of the way. Okay, so in today's presentation, we're going to discuss why you as a childcare business should have a business plan and what that plan should include. We're going to go over how you can assess your current needs as a childcare business. We're going to talk about what SWOT, okay, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, may exist within your business, and how a SWOT analysis can support you in building your business plan. Lastly, we're going to go over potential goals for your childcare business and talk about the components that should be included in the goals to ensure that they are SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. Okay, we'll get more into detail with that. So the business plan here is kind of a slimmed down version that can be easy to update and use each year. It's designed to concisely communicate your goals driven by your current realities. It's similar to a roadmap, okay? So it is best suited for family childcare providers or smaller centers. Larger childcare businesses or those that are opening new locations or new business will likely find that a strategic plan or more extensive business plan will be more valuable. Okay, so again, if you have any questions, hold them to the end or place them in the chat as I mentioned, and we'll address them in our question portions at the end. Is everybody good? Okay, great. Okay, let's get started here. All right. So just like any other business venture, every childcare needs a comprehensive business plan. This vital document serves as your roadmap. It clearly has to outline what your childcare business aims to accomplish while guiding you through 3 essential phases: planning, preparation, and operations. Okay, so running a child care center is more than just caring for kids, right? We have a couple of hats to wear. It's also about creating a sustainable business, and that can continue, that we want it to continue serving families for years to come. So your business plan ensures you're building on a solid foundation. Okay, here's why this matters so much in our field. Many of you may dream of expanding your services, whether that means adding more classrooms, opening new locations, or just introducing some innovative programs. When that time comes, you'll likely need to secure funding through loans or grants. This is where your business plan becomes invaluable. It demonstrates to potential investors and lenders that you're not just passionate about childcare, but that you're also serious as a business owner with a clear vision and strategy for success. So think of your business plan as both a mirror and a telescope. As a mirror, it reflects where your business currently stands, what your strengths are, your resources, and your current operations. As a telescope, it shows where you're headed, what your goals are, what growth strategies you may have, and plans for long-term sustainability. This dual perspective is exactly what investors and lenders need to feel confident in supporting your vision. In the development of your business plan, there are 4 components that we feel are necessary to include to get started. The first is your value proposition. Your value proposition is simply answering the question, why you? Your value proposition can be important because it reminds you of why children and families love your service. Next is your assessment of your current situation. You want to take a comprehensive look at your business performance and feedback. This will help you to understand what your needs are and how you can prepare for the future. Your SWOT analysis is taking a deeper look at the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your business. Through the SWOT analysis, you will divide your data into 4 quadrants, whether a factor is positive or negative, and whether it is about the present or the future. You want to use this information to build the plan. Doing the first 3 steps, it gives you an outline for what your plan will look like. And all the information taken from these will be included in the plan and give you and investors a look at how your plan will operate and sustain your childcare business. Okay, step 1, stating your value proposition. Your value proposition is simply answering the question again, why you? You can think about your past years and the feedback you received that demonstrate why families and children love your program. If you have employees of any kind, think about what you do to ensure that they remain happy and stay with your business and how you attract new people as needed. Your value proposition can be important because it reminds you of your value to the people you serve. This is important to always have in mind as the business owner and to use as you talk to other families. It provides a concise reminder of what you do in your business. Value propositions help frame some of the important business decisions that you will make, such as how you set your rates, how you attract top talent, and how you promote your service to enroll more families. You could write pages and pages about these ideas, but in this case, we recommend you use a very simple format to create your value proposition. Specifically, we'd like you to answer these 3 questions. Where do you serve families and children? This could be in your neighborhood or in your city. Perhaps you reach a wider audience across a county or region. Okay, what are the age groups that you serve? Do you serve infants and older, or maybe only preschoolers? What about school-age children? The next is, what is it that parents, children, staff, or volunteers love most about your business? What is it that makes them come back? This might be you personally, right? They might like you. And so a lot of times people will say that it is the family care provider or the director of the small center that they come back for. It could be your location, the proximity to transportation, or other reasons. So there's no good or bad answer to this. If you feel like you're not sure, don't hesitate to ask them, parents. It never hurts to say that you're planning to further improve the services they receive and you'd just like to receive their feedback. So very simply, this could be a conversation at pickup where you say, "Hey, I'm working on how we can improve our services this year. I'm just curious, what do you like most about having your child here? Or what does little Johnny like most? Is there anything you wish we could do better? If you had your child at another center or family childcare program, what do we or don't we do better?" You can just listen and take in any feedback. When running a group childcare center, you have two effective options for gathering feedback. The first is to consider distributing anonymous surveys that are intentionally brief to encourage participation. Second, placing a comment box in an accessible location that gives families and staff an ongoing way to share their thoughts. Both methods should focus on understanding program quality, the communication, effectiveness, and ideas for improvement. For those of you that are family childcare providers, the approach can be more personal. You could schedule a brief, casual interview with your families during convenient times, like drop off or pickup. These conversations should feel natural while still gathering specific insights about your program. After these discussions, take time to document the key points you've learned to inform your future planning. For childcare centers, your stakeholders, which are the families, the staff, and volunteers in your program, those form the foundation of your business success for several important reasons. They experience your service firsthand. That gives them valuable insight into what's working and what could be improved. They're also investing their time, trust, and resources in your program, so that makes their perspective particularly valuable. Perhaps most importantly, satisfied families become your most effective marketers. In the childcare field, word of mouth referrals are often your most powerful marketing tool. Tell me I'm wrong. Okay. Parents naturally share their positive experience with friends, families, and neighbors who are seeking childcare. So by actively seeking and responding to feedback, you strengthen these relationships and build trust within your community, which ultimately helps you grow and thrive. Okay, really quick before we go ahead, Miss Tanya, I see your hand up again. How can I help you?
No, I didn't want anything. I apologize. I hit that accidentally.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to be sure.
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're good. No problem. Okay. The next step in taking a comprehensive look at your business performance and feedback and writing a basic list of what is working well versus what you need to improve. Again, this doesn't have to be pages and pages. To perform this basic assessment, you will need some data to rely on. One, your feedback from families or your volunteers or staff. And two, the business financials. And that's going to include a monthly budget and a 12-month cash flow. These tools will allow you to know what financial demands there are. Remember, you want to be realistic on both for better planning. I always like to mention that knowing your budget and being honest with yourself is really important, okay? If you worry that you aren't where you should be financially, that's okay. It's better to know where you stand so you can fix it. You won't be able to fix it if you don't know, okay? We recommend that you first look at the feedback you got from your families, your volunteers, and staff, and then review your financials and answer some simple questions. Again, here's some more questions for you. What do families like most? What do they like least? What do staff like most? What do they like least? If you have any volunteers, what do they like most and what do they like least? When you look at your financials, are you going to be profitable? Are you going to make money by the end of the year? Okay. When looking at your enrollment forecast, are there any months where you're worried because student enrollment will be down? Are you going to have several children aging out of care? By answering these questions, you're not only helping to create your plan for the year, but you are also creating talking points to use as you run your business throughout the year. Imagine being able to say, by the end of the year, we should be profitable by this much. And I always like to think of Shark Tank, right? I'm always impressed with the people on the show that are presenting and the way they talk about their profit margins and how much they expect to make for the next year. They really know their stuff, right? So that's how we should also and think about our business. Yes? Okay. As you continue to assess your current situation, some additional questions you may want to ask are: what is going to keep you profitable throughout the year? Do you need more children enrolled mid-year? Looking ahead, how many slots will you need to fill? Will some children exit for kindergarten? Do you have a growing wait list? If you're anticipating growth or at capacity, do you want to consider expanding? What do parents want and need? How will you adjust your program services to meet those needs? Are there ways that you can easily meet those needs? Perhaps families want hours that run a little bit later and you can shift your hours accordingly. Maybe they want a certain service or opportunity. You always have to think about your staff. What do they want? Do they report wanting additional pay or benefits? Or are you having any trouble finding staff? Okay. So asking these questions and then reflecting on the answers are what prepare you for the next step in building your plan. Okay, once you've assessed your current situation, you'll want to perform an analysis of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, or as we said, a SWOT analysis of your business. This is a simple yet very effective way to categorize ideas. Through the SWOT analysis, you'll divide your data into 4 quadrants, whether a factor is positive or negative, and whether it is about the present or the future. The strengths and weaknesses are the company's current positive and negative characteristics. The opportunity and threats are potential future factors that can either positively affect or negatively hinder impact and growth. If you have employees, performing a SWOT analysis as a team will be most effective. If you're a family childcare provider without employees, consider a conversation with a friend or colleague you trust who knows your business well. You can use a whiteboard or a large sheet of paper, and this will allow your team to collect and visualize the ideas. Take your whiteboard or paper and divide it into 4 boxes labeled strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, just the way you see it here on the slide. The goal of this activity is to have a clear vision in each of these areas and to use this insight as you build your business plan. Okay, begin your analysis by engaging every member of your team in the process. Each person should write down several statements that reflect their perspectives on your business's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Encourage your team to write each idea on a little separate sticky note, which then they can place on the board divided into the 4 categories. To help your team understand what belongs in each category, consider these examples from the childcare field. A strength statement might recognize that, hey, our business is open for more hours than our competition, highlighting a competitive advantage. When examining weaknesses, your team might identify that we have issues with staff turnover. So that's acknowledging that there's an internal challenge that needs to be addressed. Looking at opportunities, someone might note we have room for increased enrollment, right? Pointing out the potential for growth. For threats, a team member might observe that there's a new business opening nearby. And what that does is it identifies external challenges to your success. After all team members have posted their statements, gather as a group to discuss which observations are most significant for your business. This collaborative discussion identifies the truly impactful factors that deserve your attention. The statements your team agrees are most relevant will provide the valuable insights into your organization's current position and help focus your efforts as you develop sections of your business plan. The last step in building out your plan We're going to take you step by step through the process, starting with reviewing the past year and then examining how your year might go. From this, you'll find goals to undertake to maintain or strengthen your business. Outside of stating your value proposition, here are the suggested components of your business plan. One, your customers, which are your families, understanding what you want to do to support them for the year. Number two, your team, your staff or volunteers, understanding how you can attract and retain staff or volunteers to keep your program running. Number three, your market, competitors, any other external factors that are going to impact your goals. Number four, your finances, a financial forecast that helps you know where you're headed financially during the year and what it will take to get there, such as your level of enrollment. Okay. Your SMART goals, which hold you accountable. You will create SMART goals related to what you plan to undertake for the year. You have to make sure they're SMART, okay? We'll talk more about this, but it's an acronym that means specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. You want your goals to be reasonable and pared down as tightly as possible. That way you can achieve them. Oops. Okay. All right. The business plan template should include 6 components and discuss in detail how each area plays a huge role in the business. Again, your value proposition is your why. Okay. How does your why relate to the families? What role does the staff play in this? Is the market in your area an area where you can be successful, and how so? What is your financial plan? How do you plan to sustain operations over time? Your goals tell the story of where you would like the childcare business to go and how you plan to achieve them. You are now ready to use the plan template to build your plan. First, you've developed that value proposition, the why. Your value proposition again explains why your childcare business exists and what makes it special. Okay, this goes beyond just simply providing childcare. It's about your unique approach, your core beliefs, and the specific benefits that you offer the community. So you want to think deeply about what drives you to serve families and how your program's value align with their needs. So as you gather valuable feedback from your families and staff, you can insert it in a very simple sentence, such as, and we'll do more of this a little bit later, but we serve children and families in, you can put your neighborhood or region, another location, if you have multiple locations, and you want to state the ages, between the ages of 0 to 6 or 0 to 12, okay? And then what are families and children, what our families and children love most is that we provide this service, or we have this value or this characteristic, okay? This sentence is very simple, but it's not simplistic. This is going to give you the ability to remember throughout the year why children and families chose you and love staying with you. This will not only help you remember your program's value, but again, it's going to help you to reinforce why your program is special as you talk to potential customers and even as you talk to your staff to remind them of what you do. A successful childcare business must be committed and have a plan in place to attract and retain its customer base. This means having a business plan that clearly articulates how your mission connects with the families you serve. This is where you state what you plan to do to support families in the year ahead that will allow you to sustain or even grow your business. Consider how your program's approach, philosophy, and daily practices resonate with parents' values and expectations. Explain how you'll build and maintain strong relationships with families while meeting their childcare needs. This should be informed by the feedback you collected about what families like and what you can improve on. Here's another example, okay? Based on feedback we have collected, families are looking for, and then you're going to list some features, right? And you will say are looking for these features. We are able to meet the family's needs because we have whatever features. And we are located in an in-demand area or have built a client base, for example. To further meet the needs of our families and maintain or increase program enrollment. Our plan is to add or enhance, and then you can again list some other features, and that's whatever, whatever you've listed. Okay? Now, I know it's harder to visualize what I'm saying, but we're going to do that a little bit later, okay? So I'm just kind of throwing that out there. Okay, understanding your team is an integral part to your success. So therefore, a successful childcare business will also be committed and have a plan to place to attract and retain staff members and volunteers if applicable. This section is where you state what you plan to do to support your staff for the year in a way that allows you to sustain or even grow your business. You want to detail how you will recruit, train, and retain quality staff members who share your vision. Describe how your staff will contribute to your program's mission and how you'll support their professional growth while maintaining high standards of care. This should be informed by the feedback that you've collected about what staff like and what you can improve on. If you don't have staff, think about yourself. How would you support yourself? What commitments do you make to yourself every day that will help you sustain your business in the long run? Okay. A thorough understanding of your local market is also crucial. This is where you will enter your SWOT analysis that we discussed earlier. Clearly noting your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, that allows you to plan with intention. So you'll also want to examine whether your chosen location can support your business model, study the demographics, your competition, and what your community needs are in your area. Explain how these factors contribute to your potential for success and how you'll position your program within the market. Your financial plan must outline clear strategies for long-term sustainability. This includes your annual budget and 12-month cash flow analysis, and it'll describe how you'll maintain financial stability while delivering quality care and meeting your operational goals. Keep an eye on this throughout the year and make sure that your predictions are staying on target. If they're not, ensure you understand why and adjust accordingly. Your financial forecast should include any anticipated increases in enrollment and revenue. It should also reflect the staffing levels, compensation, whether it's for you or others, if applicable, and benefits that you anticipate. Okay, your goals tell the story of your program's future and is the final section of the business plan. This section states what exactly you intend to do to improve or expand your business based on the information that you gathered and assessed and by what date. It gives life to your plan. It makes it real, and it lets you know specifically what you'll need to do. Here, you're going to outline specific measurable objectives for where you want your childcare business to go and create clear action plans for achieving them. You want to include both short-term milestones and long-term aspirations, along with concrete steps for reaching these targets. You can choose to follow the SMART goal format, or you can use another simple tool, the 3-element format, which is the what, the how, and how you're going to know that it worked, okay? So both are simple formats that will keep you on track and accountable to get things done. Remember that these components are interconnected. Each one supports and strengthens the others in creating a sustainable, high-quality childcare program. Okay, so we've referenced SMART goals a few times already, right? But let's dive deeper into what these really are. When you're establishing goals for your childcare business, you have to address 3 fundamental questions that will guide your success. First, clearly define what you want to accomplish with your program. Second, develop a detailed strategy on how you're going to achieve those goals, those objectives, okay? Third, determine specific methods to measure and evaluate your progress towards these goals. The most effective way to approach goal setting is through the SMART framework, which ensures your goals are well structured and achievable, okay? As I mentioned before, a SMART goal is specific. And this is where your goal clearly states exactly what you want to accomplish. It's measurable. so that you can track and quantify your progress. It's actionable. You have the power and resources to achieve this goal. It's reasonable. The goal challenges you while remaining attainable, and then it's time limited or time bound, that you clearly set a deadline for achieving the goal. For example, rather than setting a vague goal like, I want to improve enrollment, okay? A SMART goal would state, I would like to increase enrollment by 6 children within the next 3 months by implementing a parent referral program and hosting 2 community open houses. By incorporating these elements into your goal setting process, you've significantly increased your likelihood of success. This structured approach helps transform your aspirations into concrete achievements for your childcare business. So if you set something like this as your SMART goal, you would know if you've achieved your goal by kind of sort of checking off what you've listed. Did you increase your enrollment by 6 children? Did you do that within the 3 months? Were you able to implement your new program, and did you host the 2 community open houses? If you didn't, then did you achieve your goal? And now you know that you can go back and maybe reevaluate and try again. And sometimes that happens. You may need to modify your goal as you go along. That's fine, but at least you have a starting point, and we're just being realistic, right? Okay, now we can use all the information that we have gathered to start building the plan. Utilization of all this information is essential in the overall function of your business. From this, you're able to make better choices and decisions. You're going to be able to iron out all your kinks, avoid mistakes, improve viability, and provide you with the guide you need to successfully grow your childcare business. Okay, the introduction and value proposition. Okay, remember how I said that little sentence? It's like, wait, what? Features, characteristics, all that. This is what it would look like. Okay, so your introduction identifies the specific communities you serve and the age groups you work with. This section also highlights the unique characteristics that make your program special to families and their children. Okay, so here's the example. We serve children and families in Morningside, Buckhead Village, and Lake Claire between the ages of 1 to 3 years old. What our families and children love most in our community is our commitment to safety, our focus on learning and development, and our program's reliability and reputation. Okay, that is what your introduction and value proposition could be. That's an example. Okay, the families portion, you would add, based on collected feedback, this section outlines what your families are seeking in childcare services. So it describes how your program currently meets the needs and presents your plans for program enhancements that will maintain or increase enrollment. Okay, so you can see that based on the feedback we've collected, families are seeking flexible scheduling options, convenient services, and clear communication. We can meet family needs because we have 25 years of experience identifying the family's expectations. To better meet our family's needs, we continually implement new support and services. We plan to offer additional hours, invest in a diversified curriculum, and use the latest technology to enhance the experience for both children and families. Okay, that says a lot. That's very impressive for somebody to read. Okay, so then on the staff portion, this component examines what your staff values most in their work environment. It describes your current strategies for meeting staff's needs and outline specific plans for staff retention and recruitment that align with your enrollment goals. Okay, so here's some more example. Based on the feedback we've collected, child care staff are seeking a positive work culture, flexible hours, and fair compensation. We're able to meet our current and potential staff needs because we've invested time and careful thought into building supportive leadership practices, improving work-life balance, and strengthening compensation and advancement strategies. However, to better serve our current and prospective staff and to achieve our goal of increasing program enrollment, We plan to implement a structured staff appreciation and recognition program, offer more flexible scheduling options, and strengthen our recruitment pipeline through targeted outreach and partnerships. Okay, that sounds really good. Okay, and then this is where you're going to add your SWOT analysis. You want to provide a clear picture of your business's current position. This structured evaluation examines your internal strengths and weaknesses alongside external opportunities and threats. So whatever you came up with, this is where you would add that. And then finally, your financial plan. Or not finally, but the financial section presents your annual budget, your 12-month cash flow analysis. These are the documents that provide a comprehensive view of your business financial health and what your projected operations are going to be. And this is where you would add those documents to your business plan. Okay. And then now your SMART goals. Okay. Your SMART goals outline your specific targets for business improvement and growth. Again, each goal follows that SMART framework to ensure that it is specific, that it is measurable, actionable, reasonable, and time-bound. Utilization of all this information is essential to the overall functions of your business and serves as your operational guide. It will help you to make informed decisions, it improves visibility, and it'll help you maintain sustainable growth for your childcare business. And you're done. This would be the final piece, and it's letting everyone know your vision for the future of your business. Okay, yay! That wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, now I want to thank you for your attention today, your dedication to your work, and your willingness to invest in your business's growth. That's truly commendable. I always give props to all of you wanting to do this. I was a director at one point, so I know. But now we want to move on to our Q&A session to address any questions you might have. And let me check the chat to see if there are any in there. Okay, so we do have the questions. Yes, please put everybody's name and your PDS numbers in the chat so that you can